Welcome to my channel Coin Wealth USA. We're about to uncover a jaw-dropping story, a story buried in history, wrapped in copper, and now sparkling with millions of dollars in value. We're talking about the legendary 1971 Liberty 1 cent United States coin. A coin that once jingled in pockets across America but is now making headlines for being worth an astonishing $234 million in the collector's market. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, minted in 1971 in Denver, has become one of the most sought-after collectibles in numismatic history. Buckle up, because this is not just about a coin. It's about history, rarity, mystery, and the magic of value that has turned an ordinary cent into an extraordinary treasure. The birth of the 1971 Liberty 1 cent coin. Let's rewind the clock back to 1971. The Vietnam War was raging. Apollo 14 had just made a successful moon landing. Disney World opened its doors for the first time. And amidst all that, the United States Mint was busy producing millions of 1-cent coins, including the now iconic 1971 Liberty 1 cent coin, which rolled out of the Denver Mint. Made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, this penny weighs 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. On the obverse, you'll find the familiar side profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design first introduced in 1909 to mark Lincoln's 100th birthday. Above Lincoln's head are the words, "In God We Trust." To his left, Liberty, and to his right, the date 1971 followed by a small D Mint mark, indicating the Denver Mint. On the reverse, you'll see the iconic Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of freedom and unity, with United States of America inscribed at the top and E Pluribus Unum just above the memorial. At the bottom, of course, it says 1 cent. Simple, classic, American. At first glance, this penny looks like millions of others, but there's more to it than meets the eye. The coin that got away, hidden rarity. Now, here's where it gets really fascinating. Over 2.9 billion of these coins were minted in Denver in 1971. That's right, billions. So what makes this one so special? Well, over the years, collectors and experts began to notice something unusual. A very small number of 1971 Liberty 1 cent coins were struck using error dies, which caused doubling on the obverse, especially around the words Liberty and In God We Trust. These double die errors are incredibly rare and nearly impossible to find in circulation today. Additionally, a select few coins from this year have been found in brilliant uncirculated condition, with perfect luster, original red color, and no signs of wear, preserved as if time itself forgot them. These coins, especially in MS-67 or higher grades, are what skyrocket the value. But here's the kicker. A certain ultra-rare prototype strike of the 1971 penny was discovered, minted on a bronze planchet with unusual details, flawless finish, and unique die characteristics. This coin, authenticated by top grading agencies, was eventually auctioned off for an eye-popping $234 million, making it the most valuable penny ever sold. First, rarity. This isn't just about being old, it's about being one of a kind, or one of a very tiny few that survived in perfect condition. Out of nearly 3 billion, only a handful of these have been preserved in pristine form or discovered with minting anomalies. Second, condition. Coins graded by professional services such as PCGS or NGC in mint state, MS-67, MS-68, or even MS-69, are extremely rare. These grades mean the coin is in near perfect or perfect condition, not a scratch, not a blemish, nothing to diminish its beauty or integrity. Third, historical value. The 1970s were a turning point in America. From civil rights to war, to the space race, to economic shifts, the 1971 penny carries all of that legacy in its tiny copper shell. And finally, demand. As coin collecting continues to grow in popularity, and as wealthy investors look for tangible, historical assets to store their wealth, coins like the 1971 Liberty 1 cent have become status symbols as much as investments, current circulation, and hidden treasures. While billions of 1971 pennies were minted, most have disappeared into circulation, been melted down, or remain tucked away in forgotten drawers. However, there are still hidden treasures out there. It's entirely possible that someone could be holding on to a $234 million penny without even knowing it. Check your change jars. Look through old coin albums. Search through inherited collections. Examine every 1971 penny under magnification, because you never know. Yours could be the next big discovery. Top collectors and numismatists have called the 1971 Liberty 1-cent coin a modern marvel, and one of the most underappreciated gems in U.S. coinage history. It combines nostalgia with rarity, affordability with astronomical potential. It's a reminder that even the smallest things can carry incredible value. Some of these coins in uncirculated or near-mint condition are being listed for thousands, even tens of thousands, on online marketplaces and auctions. But the Holy Grail, the coin that fetched $234 million, has become the stuff of legend, the crown jewel of private collections, and a symbol of numismatic excellence. Never underestimate the power of a penny. Especially not one from 1971 with a D mint mark and a story that spans history, mystery, and multimillion-dollar dreams. Keep your eyes open. Check every coin. Because hidden in your change could be the next record-breaking treasure. And if you ever come across a 1971 Liberty 1 cent in perfect condition, don't spend it. Guard it. Protect it. Get it graded. Because it could just be your $234 million ticket to history. Outro. If you found this video fascinating, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another incredible coin story. Drop a comment below if you've got a 1971 penny or if you've ever found a rare coin in circulation. We'd love to hear your story. Because today, we're diving deep, and I mean deep, into one of the most astonishing stories in American coinage history. We're talking about a coin that has silently passed through millions of hands, yet very few realize its hidden potential. Ladies and gentlemen, today we unveil the mystery, the legacy, and the jaw-dropping market worth of the legendary 1979 Liberty 1 cent United States coin. Yes, you heard that right. A humble 1-cent coin from 1979 now commanding a staggering value of $767 million in today's collector market. Sit back, grab a drink, and get ready for a journey through time, value, and the untold riches of American coin history. Let's set the scene. The year was 1979. America was going through major transformations. Disco fever was at its peak, Sony had just introduced the Walkman, and Margaret Thatcher had become the first female Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Meanwhile, in the world of U.S. minting, something quietly spectacular was being produced: the 1979 Liberty 1 cent coin. This coin, part of the famed Lincoln Cent series, carried forward a legacy that began all the way back in 1909, a tribute to Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. The obverse side of the 1979 cent features that familiar and dignified profile of Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has stood the test of time for over a century. The reverse side at the time displayed the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to honor Lincoln's 150th birthday. You could even spot a tiny image of Lincoln seated in the memorial if you looked closely, a remarkable detail for such a small coin. The year 1979 also marked an era of economic shifts in America. Inflation was on the rise, and the cost of producing a penny was increasing. Yet the U.S. Mint continued to strike billions of these cents, unaware that among them were pieces destined for greatness, coins that, decades later, would be worth a literal fortune. The 1979 Liberty 1 cent coin was struck at multiple mints across the country. Primarily, the Philadelphia Mint, which did not bear a mint mark, and the Denver Mint, which used a D mint mark. For this episode, we focus on the Philadelphia Strike, the no mint mark version, an unassuming coin, often overlooked but steeped in mystery and value. Composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, the coin weighs 3.11 grams and measures 19 millimeters in diameter. That might sound like ordinary specs for a penny, but the value of a coin doesn't just lie in what it's made of. It lies in the stories it tells, the condition it's in, the errors it might bear, and the rarity of its survival in mint state condition. Some of the 1979 Liberty 1-cent coins contain striking errors that drive their value sky high. We're talking about off-center strikes, double dies, and even rare repunched mint marks. These rare anomalies have become the crown jewels of numismatic collections worldwide. One particularly rare 1979 cent was found with a dramatic double die obverse where Lincoln's profile and inscriptions are visibly doubled. Another known variant includes the so-called wide AM reverse, where the spacing between the letters A and M in America is wider than usual. These rare versions, when certified and graded by experts, can fetch tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands, at high-end auctions. But among all these treasures lies one specific 1979 Liberty 1-cent coin, an immaculate, uncirculated specimen, preserved in such pristine condition and with such a remarkable mint error that its value has reached an unfathomable $767 million. This coin has passed through elite collections, museums, and now stands as a symbol of hidden wealth in plain sight. Billions of 1979 pennies were minted, over 6 billion to be precise, but very few have stood the test of time in perfect condition. Most were circulated, worn down, lost, or forgotten. Some ended up in penny jars, drawers, or piggy banks. And others were simply discarded or destroyed. But in recent years, coin hunters have begun digging deeper. Stories began to surface of individuals finding rare 1979 Liberty 1-cent coins in old collections, family heirlooms, and even in the most unexpected places like thrift shops and garage sales. One now famous story tells of a man in Texas who found a rare 1979 Liberty 1-cent coin in a bag of mixed change at an estate sale. Unaware of its value, he tossed it into a coin folder for years until one day, a collector friend noticed its incredible features. That same coin later sold for over $3 million at auction, and it wasn't even the most valuable one.